Good afternoon, Internet. I'm your host, HazelPlace89. Welcome to City Skylines 1. We are in Old Samville today, and as you can see by all the numerous, beautiful, glorious trash issue icons, we're having trash issues. So, first things first, right off the bat, because I want to take care of this, because that's what we need to do right out of the gate. So what I'm going to do is we have this second landfill over here, but I want to get actually a third. So what we'll do right out of the gate, we're going to get our concrete industrial type road, and we're going to do this, and we're going to place another one back to back. I think let's actually adjust that. We're going to go to 1, 2 like so, and then we will place it, and so they'll be back to back, and it'll look really nice, and we'll have one giant thing right there. But also, I think it would behoove us to potentially grab our concrete road over here, and let's go about 15 units this way, and I'll go 15 that way, and have a little road right here. Let's say this one will be about 5. And what I want to do over here is grab a recycling center and just put it out of the way, right like that. And so, with the eyes of the world upon us, we have that. We have that going for us, but let's adjust our budget actually. So we'll come in here and we're going to jump our trash production all the way up to 150 because we have the ability to do so, and that'll help get everything sorted out. And once we get all of that cleared up, it will kind of normalize. We're gonna need water over here actually. So the grand plan of this episode is we're gonna build an office park in this area, sort of. We're gonna use some of our unique buildings to do that, but it looks like we're also having power issues. So if we go to our power view, you can see we're in the yellow and we're about to hit the red. So what I want to do for this, I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I want to do is we're going to grab this right here, and then we'll come down like so. Let's go 12 units for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one of my favorite assets in the game. We're going to add the Geothermal power plant. Now let's come off 1 unit off of that, and then we could add another one, but I think we should be okay in the meantime. But what we want to do, let's expand this. Let's go another 5 units. So this is going to be, let's check and see. So we'll have 8 that way. Let's go 16 then. That would be about right here, and we'll just kind of put a line here, and that'll help us figure out whenever we inevitably add our second one, we'll have space. And I like combining multiple geothermals together because I think it looks kind of nice. But what I want to do in this point is we're going to expand the Elms Height district for the district styling, not any other reason but for that. We're going to expand it down here, and we're going to enclose this, but what we can do is sever that connection. And you probably know this, but I like to kind of mention it just in case anyone is watching that might be new to the game. We have the opportunity to sever that district that we just made from the rest of it, but if we hover over it, it still counts as part of Elm Heights, which is great, which is exactly what I want. So what we're going to do with that, we're going to expand just on the borders just a little bit, and I think we'll just take that back just a little. And so what I want to do is we're going to grab a few industrial evolution buildings and do that. So I'm going to, also people are dying, which is not ideal. So let's check on death care. But yeah, you can very clearly tell that this is a damage control episode. We need probably another type of medical center, but what I like the idea of is using some of our new mountain pack assets. What are these things called? Mountain Village Content Creator Pack. So let's grab our mountain healthcare service, and I like the idea of having it close by in our college campus. It could be like a college medical center or our little university area over here. And we have the opportunity. We could place it right here. We could even also place it on this corner right here, which I think would be amazing. Right central. And I think we're going to take the opportunity to do that. So let's place that right here. We could add some detailing around it. That'll be fine. But I think it blends in pretty well, actually, now that I'm looking at it. So we have that, and it's sending out ambulances, which is always good. But while we do that, let's check our budget again. And this, okay, perfect. Our healthcare is at 101%, which is ideal. So, as we wait for all of these glorious, beautiful icons to sort themselves out, we're gonna speed up. Actually, I don't think we'll speed up the game. What we'll do instead, we'll just work on getting our area this way expanded. So what I want to do is I want to bring out our 4-lane, or this isn't a 4-lane, this is our normal one-way road, or 2-lane road rather. But what I want to do with that is expand it. So let's go ahead, we're going to grab our 4-lane road and we're going to upgrade it up to the couplet system just like so. But we need to make sure that we don't bust any of our detailing that we did last episode. And I'll say this though, I think that like a fun vanilla college university campus like what we have over here, I think it turned out pretty well. And I appreciate all the love and support that you guys gave on the previous episode. It means a lot. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stretch this out just a touch more. Oh, we have need of power right here. I need to add that so I don't forget. So let's just kind of do this for now. This will be a very temporary solution. We're not busting any zoning, so I'm fine with that. So let's go ahead then. We will grab this. I don't mind bumpies in the road. I think it gives it a little bit of character. So let's just go about right here. And then we're going to go this way. But what we're going to do is we're going to tear off, we're going to delete some of that just so we can have a nice curve there. I think I like the idea of having a curve on this type of road rather than just a big massive sharp right angle, you know. Now, I don't think I want to cross the railroad just yet, but what I like the idea of having is some sort of interchange right here. I really think that could be interesting to look at. Now that might mean that we could potentially lose a bit of zoning here, but that is something that we will have to consider. And I think I'll do this in a later episode, but I'm just thinking out loud at this point. So what I like the idea of doing is we're going to grab our regular 2-lane roads and we're going to just expand out as we need, just like so. So let's grab that as well. And then I think what we'll start doing is really solidifying our grid in this area. Let's keep our distance perhaps. I think 2 units between that will be fine. And then I think another 2 units like so will be okay as well. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up having some unique office building assets in this area. So some of these roads are subject to change, which is always fine. I don't mind I don't mind plans changing, so to speak. Let's actually draw this right here so we can have like so, and then I think we will do one right here, and then I think we're gonna pretty much call this here on this section. Alternatively, what we could do, let's just put you there for now, and then I think we'll put you there for now, kind of even that out just a touch. So we have that, which is nice. And what I like the idea of doing is do we want to expand hillside heights? I think we do. So let's bring this here and we're going to just come all the way down. Make our district nice and aesthetic and pretty and nice and neat. Do about right here, and then we'll just follow this. And then I'm gonna get the bigger size. We'll just do that. And then what we can do, let's just squeeze you right here. And then we'll grab the small one, and then we can clean up our district just a little bit. About like that. I think I want it just to be on the inside of our 4-lane. So we'll do that. We'll just clean this up. Boop. All right, that's fine. And then just kind of take that back just ever so slightly. And there we have it. I wonder if we need death care. I've been to check on that. I think death care should be okay. But we probably need to make sure that we keep an eye on that. We've only got one cemetery, so I think this area could probably use with one. So let's actually place a cemetery. Let's place it right here, I think. This will make the area look really special for that angle. And then this back here we can do something with. So, what I want to do now, we're going to go in and we're going to find a few of our office uniques. So, I think it will be in here, and then we will find some of these skyscrapers, or some of these, yes, some of the modern Japan buildings. I think will look really nice out here. They are kind of expensive, so we may need to worry about getting money coming in, more money coming in. But we have the opportunity to do some really interesting things with these buildings, with these assets. So what I think we'll do in the meantime is let us actually sever. Do I want to sever this? I don't think I do. But what we need to do is we definitely need to consider getting in a few more areas of residential zoning. We also need to make sure that we have water where we need water. Let's go ahead and put you here. We'll put you here. Now, this is definitely eating into my node count. I understand that, but I don't foresee the city getting that big. And if it does, we can figure something out. We can work with that when we get there. To make a water-related pun, since we're laying down the pipes, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So, there we have it. Let's go ahead now, and I want to add a touch of commercial zoning just here, and I think just about here as well. And since this is going to be like an office park area, this area, probably specifically in this little section right here, what I like the idea of doing is adding just around, just dotted, some blocks of commercial. I think that'll lend itself to being very pleasing to look at kind of aesthetic that we're going for, which I think will be kind of nice. But as we do that, let's go ahead and we're going to just draw in blocks of commercial, or residential rather, like so. Like so. Now I don't want there to be anything right here, residentially that is, but what we have the opportunity to do is add ourselves in just a touch of commercial right there. Now I know that's kind of gross, but it'll be fine. Do we not have water here? We don't. So we don't have water there, so let's put it there. Also, as you can see, all of our trash issues are resolved, and those two water icons, they're going away. We did it. It's amazing what paying attention will do for you. So yeah, I take full responsibility for the start of that episode. I fully admit that last episode 8 of the series, I was not paying attention as I should have. So now we have that. I kind of want to encourage growth in this area, and a good way to encourage growth, what we'll do is we're going to add a park. We're going to add just some semblance, some interesting type of park, probably a pre-built park, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. That is perfectly acceptable. So let's go to our menu. Let's find ourselves a park. The park with trees is too large. The large playground is actually the perfect size. So what we can do is we're going to place it right here, right in this area. And I love how it connects. And so I think we could also maybe potentially, probably, it's just too large. Do we have the opportunity to place a dog park? That's also too big. Sad day. But what we could do, I want to find one that fits. I mean, realistically, what we could do is we could find some of these. Yes. Oh my goodness, what is this? This is the tourist park. I don't think I want a tourist park, but I think I do like the idea of having a tiny park. or a tiny playground. So many opportunities for interesting things. This is perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. We could pretend, let's actually place it on the corner here. We could pretend that this path that's connected to it goes right up there. And then what we can do is we can have some detailing around this. Oh my goodness, it's all coming together. Okay, so we're sitting at 80 grand. I would like to continue because we want this corner to be our office space. So what we're going to do, because we have demand for it, we're going to add that there, and we're going to add bits of office zoning, specifically like office specific zoning. We're not going to place our uniques just yet, but what I want to do is begin coaxing some office over into this area, and I think that'll really lend itself to being interesting. Now, office demand cuts into, or our office zoning cuts into our industrial demand, which is awesome. So that's something to consider whenever you're playing with offices in this game, as opposed to City Skylines 2. Or City Skylines 2, it's very much its own type of zoning. And Cities 1, like I said, office cuts into our residential zoning. So I like the idea of having maybe another, let's get another little office here next to this building to kind of overwatch the bus depot. And then we can grab maybe another little compact industrial building there as well. So yeah, now we're just going to make sure that we come over here and we have water where we need water. Let's just squeeze a little bit out there, and that'll be fine because I don't anticipate zoning much on these curves here. But what we could do is detail and kind of make the spaces look kind of nice. But I'm just really admiring how we have our rail right in the middle of our commercial there. I think that's really cool, and I like the look of that. So what I want to do is I feel like I need to get a little bit more Brooklyn and Queens in this area here. I think I like the idea of having it on the 4-lane road, even though I didn't really want to. But what we could do alternatively is we could potentially do this. It can't be upgraded this time, but what we could do, I wonder if we could get by with doing this to have the backs of the buildings facing our couplet system, because I don't really want zoning on the couplet system on this side specifically. So we're gonna just zone in some high density and just see what happens. Same thing over here. Just have a little 2x2 blocks, just a couple. So we're gonna wait for that. We need power, which is kind of interesting. So what we can do, let's go ahead and try to jump that power with a line of commercial. So yes, offices, and then some of these interesting unique spaces like this. What we can do is we can come in here, we could add some trees, we can add some detailing, something like this to really like specify, be specific with decorations in the office park. I thought I had the mod, I forgot what the mod is called, to allow you to Surface Painter. I thought I had Surface Painter, but I don't think that I do, or at least it's not enabled anyway. Here's what we need to do. This zone needs, or the district needs to encompass these zones right here. Oh, we have fire. Let's check our fire coverage. So this episode is really interesting in that we're making sure that our services are covering the areas that they need to be covering, and really they're not. So what we need to do is we need to, for now, let's come in here, and I want to use one of our content creator fire stations because I like the way that they look. Let's use the historical fire station. And I think I like the idea of placing our historical fire station on this corner right here. I think I like that. That could be like a repurposed old Victorian house or what have you. Alternatively, but also we need to look at getting a police station in here. So let's do something similar with the historical police station. And we're going to place it just up here, like so. Yes. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to come in. We're going to find our parking lots, and they're right here, I believe. Here, I believe. And we're going to place one parking lot right there, right next to our park, right next to our Sidewalk Cafe. So that's a fun, interesting central area to this location. And then I think what we'll do, let's just get some 3 deep zoning right here. And now that I'm looking at it, I kind of want to move our police station over to this area to kind of make sure that it's with its friends, the fire departments. So let's do that. And we're going to remove that commercial. We're going to put it right here. Actually, no, we're not, because what we need to do is get another parking lot. And we're going to place it right here, right on the side, or out back. Now, I've seen some content creators, I think Overcharged Egg did this with his Orchid Bay series, is he repurposed these to kind of play the role as churches. And I think that that's a great way to use these assets. But so as to not copy everything the Overcharged Egg does, I've elected to not exactly do it that way. And that's fine. You can take inspiration from your favorite content creators, but you can also, while also making the build your own, the build specifically and unique to you. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to kind of remind myself that this is what I want to do. I'm going to have a fence about these areas. So let's go ahead. We're going to draw you here, and then we're going to draw it out to about right here. Actually, let's come off and go. I want to just figure this out right now. So this is my thought process as I detail. I say to myself, how close can I get to what I need to get to, and it still look decent. And I think that looks pretty great myself. Now, do I have the opportunity here to place this where the way I want? I do not. So what we might need to do is figure out an alternative method of doing this. But since we're really filled in this space, and I was going to detail this, I kind of want to move the firehouse now. But I think what we can do instead of a fence line over here, I think what we can do is we can add ourselves a row of plants. I think let's grab the small bush. It's the vanilla small bush. So let's go ahead and we'll do this. We're going to just draw that right there to kind of delineate where our park ends and the parking lot begins. And I guess people could use the firehouse parking lot as a means of parking at the and going to the park there. I don't mind that. I think that's pretty cool. I think we can match these trees up pretty decently, pretty well enough. Which one are you? I think you're going to be the tree with leaves. Yeah, tree with leaves. So we can kind of blend the area with some sneaky detailing, so make the area just look a little bit more complete, right? Less open spaces and more thoughtful kind of detailing. I love these silver birch too, so we're gonna add a couple silver birch there. Yeah. So I mean, that's just my detailing processes. Okay, so we're at the juncture where we could definitely get a feel for what some of these, maybe a couple of what these unique office buildings will look like in the space. Now, I don't want them to be I don't want them to dominate the landscape or the skyline. So something huge, maybe not so much. So as an example, this high-rise office building, not gonna put that here. But what is this? The Rail Yard Shopping Center? I don't think I'll put that there either. I kind of want some of the smaller, more subtle office spaces, office buildings. So what we're going to do is I think I like the idea of having this here, right on the corner. And then what we can do to really kind of flesh out the space, let's find another one. We have a city office building. We could place it right next to it. We could place it across it. We could place it right here, or we could place it up here. Let's place you because we can't place it there. So what we'll do instead, let's place it right here at the bottom. And then I think actually what I like the idea of doing, let's remove that. And what we'll do is we'll get ourselves in some high density commercial. This will be our first high density commercial in the city, which is awesome. And then what we can do is I like the idea of having a small parking lot potentially back here. I wonder. Let's just see what this looks like. So let's go ahead. We're gonna grab you and put you right here, like so. And if we grab one of these wide parking lots, oh boy, it's almost perfect. I don't want it to snap. Can I turn snapping off? I don't think I can. I need this road to come over just a smidge. Just a smidge. So let's do... Let's do this. Hold on. Let's get it right in the middle. We're going to put you right here. So I have parking directly on the back of this building. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It's perfect in every way. So what I'm going to do, we're going to try to get this. Alternatively, what we could do now that we have it, let's grab and turn on all of our snapping, except the road guidelines. We're going to put you here. We're going to put you here. Actually, let's come off this, and that's 7. We're going to draw. I want this to be right in the middle. We're going to turn off everything. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it that way. So what we'll do instead, let's just come off here and get it as close as we can to that. And that's fine. That's perfect. I don't mind that. But as you can clearly see, we need water demand, and we don't have water availability. Oh no. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab a water tower. We're going to place it right here in the middle, out of this way of zoning, and we have water servicing the area. Now, what does our water treatment look like? Our water treatment looks okay, but we need to figure that out at some point. What I'd like to do is have a water treatment facility built somewhere in the city. So I think that's what we'll do at some point. Oh no, we're dipping in the red. We're losing money. But that, you know what, friends? That's okay. It was only for a moment. We're fine. So, I like the idea of maybe getting another one of these office buildings back here, alternatively, to service the area. I think parking would probably be a better shout. So let's do that. Just get a parking lot. And then I think what I want to do, let's actually upgrade the roads in here, especially right in this area. We're going to have this to be kind of a more walkable city block. So we'll go up to this portion here, and we're going to use our wide sidewalk roads in this office space. Now the 4 lanes don't have wide sidewalks, but what I plan on doing is having sort of like a tram stop at some point. I think what would be kind of cool is we could maybe grab like a pedestrian road with a tram stop on it, and we could do something like this. And so whenever the time comes and we decide to do it, we can have like a fun tram stop. But that's down the road. I kind of like the idea of maybe grabbing one more office building, but I like the idea of maybe having it right back here. Let's turn on all of our snap twos, but our guidelines. We're gonna add you right here. I think I need one more for the parking lot. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna grab our parking road or parking lot, put you right behind there, and we'll de-seal some of these spaces in. It'll be fine. It'll be fantastic and look great. Let's see if we can't get one more of those office buildings in. Service station, restaurant, everything else is too expensive, which is fine. But sadly, I don't think we'll be able to get specifically those in, but what we can definitely have the opportunity to do is some zoned office buildings. Zoned office buildings. And what I think we'll do is I almost want to, let's just see what builds up in here. And if I don't like it, what I'll end up doing is I'll make a district and do, I think we'll do Modern City Center. But we're at the point of the episode now where I want to take a moment, just kind of look at this right here, and we're going to go into a detailing time lapse. We're going to flesh out some of these areas that we've created today. We're going to do our geothermal. We're going to do our 2 firehouse and police stations that we built. We're going to do some detailing around our office park. But you know what, friends? With all that said, I'm going to get to going on that, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. So let's talk about what we did. So we came over here to our geothermal plant, and we just kind of readjusted some of the roads. We did some tree work. We added a fence around it. I think it's the oil industry fence with the little tops that kind of angle over to kind of dissuade people from climbing the fence. Just zoned a couple things. Added a parking lot out front, and it was just some light detailing work with just some tall grass, some trash type props and whatnot. And overall, I mean, I think we have a whole extra side for another geothermal in this area, which we'll get to as we need it. I don't feel like it's really necessary right now to add that straight away. So that's what we did. Well, let's fly over to the cemetery that we placed. And I kind of wanted to make it appear as though the whole block is kind of a facility. So we have the actual workable cemetery, and then I segmented it into 4 sections, or 3 extra sections. And these up here more for just green space, but then down here I wanted to make it, at least from a distance, look like the cemetery was expanded. So I don't have, assets in the way of like the tombstones and whatnot. So I just used some lantana and just laid them out in rows. I had a few tall trees in there. I love these purple trees. I forgot what they're called, but I really like them. And then I placed a couple of benches out so people could sit if they wanted to. The bush lining is one of my favorite things to do to really bring life to a space. So that's what we did there. And I think it turned out pretty well, or pretty good actually. I like the way that it looks, and the cemetery on the 4-lane is kind of a vibe with the wall there. So I kind of like it. So let's move on to our, here they are, firehouse and police station. I didn't do too much really. I just laid some trees down, but while we're here, let's kind of do something fun with this police station as well. So what we're gonna do, let's grab an oak tree, and we're gonna put a couple of oaks just dotted around here. And I think we'll get the horse chestnut, because I like mixing these two together, but I don't want anything too crazy right here. So what I think we'll do is I like the idea maybe of grabbing, let's go to our props for our parks and see what we can do. Could we get a gazebo there? We could, but that's a little too much. So what I think we'll do, let's get a fountain out here. I think that'll be fine. And then what we'll do, we'll just go back to our landscaping menu just to get a couple trees just to kind of flank that. And then I think we will put some lantana right up next to it. Could we even get some of these grasses out here? I think we can. Now it looks kind of weird, and I know, I'm fully aware, but I think it kind of, less boring. A little bit of excitement to the space. I think maybe let's just grab another big oak tree there. Kind of have that its own space. And then over here, we readjusted the birch trees that I laid out. We added a few more trees in around the park area here. And then I tried to fudge the numbers a little bit, and I have some things, but I couldn't really get stuff like I wanted them to, so I just kind of left the sidewalk park alone. Alright, so now I didn't actually do this like I wanted to, but we have the recycling center over here, which is fine. I think what we'll do, let's just get a row of some of these oaks out here, something like that, and then I think we'll get some horse chestnut and just dot them through to kind of hide some of the nastiness from that garbage processing facility. And I know it's a cleaner type garbage processing, what with recycling and all, but I still want to hide some of it so as to not be totally encroaching on that. But what I think we'll do as well, let's just go ahead, and then I think, because I feel like people would use this as a green initiative type of thing, so let's just get a couple parking lots back here, and we won't fence line it or anything, but I think that will do us. What we could even do, let's go to find it, and we're going to look for props, and we're going to look for some of these wood piles. I think I like the idea of maybe having some just little trash piles sitting around here like this. Nothing too egregious though. We don't want to go overboard with it. So what I think we'll do is just kind of Kind of do a little something like this. Could we even get a container, I wonder? We could get all sorts of containers here. So let's just do one of those, and then we'll just do one of those lying about. And I think like a trash container is kind of not really suited for this area, even though it is garbage. But what we can do is, I think, let's get some truck containers. Where do we want to put them? I think we're going to just put them right here on this little nub of a road. So these could be like waste trucks for tractor trailers or whatnot. But yeah, you know, just a little bit of prop work like that kind of fills in the space nicely. It kind of brings it all to life. And now, finally, let's go to our office park. I tried not to go overboard with it, but what I did decide to do is add some parking and everything like that. I added this beautiful little sitting area, this little park here. I love this gazebo asset a whole lot, actually. And then we just place some trees, picnic tables for people to. So let's just imagine, for instance, if people working in this office want to sit outside on a nice spring day, they can come out here and chill. We added this plaza. I feel like that's a good use of that space. I'm trying to get better. Honestly, I'm trying to get better using some of these pre-made assets here, because there's nothing wrong with them. They work, they function, and they're usable. We added some bush lining around every so often, and I went ahead and I historicalized some of these office buildings. I love the way that those looks from a distance. It looks like one unit, and I'm a big fan of that. We added another parking lot back here, and then we added paths around certain areas to kind of like fill in, because I feel like it'd be a little more concreted. And then we added some trees as we needed. Now, I'm not too big a fan of the way that the ground ruins whenever we place some of these trees and props and whatnot, but that's okay. We just zoned a little bit more, a little bit of the commercial and office spaces around the edges, but I really wanted the focus of this area to be these two buildings right here, and honestly, I think we achieved that. I love the way that they look. I'm a big fan of what we've got going on. I really appreciate how we're starting to we're getting away from suburbia. So as we kind of expand more this way, I feel like we'll get a little bit more dense, maybe not so much in height. And that's one thing that's one thing I really want to be cognizant of, is that I don't go too high with the skyline too quickly. But I can foresee this area getting kind of busy. So what we'll need to make sure that we do is, like I said earlier in the episode, I want to take this right here and somehow make it connect over this way. Alternatively, I could do something with this right here. We could figure something out, and I feel like that may be a better shout for us. But with all of that said, I would like to thank you all so much for joining me on this episode of Old Samville today. Thank you so much for your likes, your comments, your subscribes. They all mean a ton. With all that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.